So today we are going to discuss the topic Gauss theorem in the chapter electrostats. This is very important topic, Gauss's theorem. So the first topic of the Gauss theorem is area vector. So what is area vector? Suppose that we have taken any kind of surface area. So any kind of surface area that has magnitude as well as direction also, that will represent that will call the area vector. Here we have taken any kind of area. So area, that is magnitude of the surface area, is given by A, and its direction will be given normal drawn to it, that is outward normal drawn to it, that will represent the direction of the area, and it is called area vector. So here area vector will be represented as vector A is equal to n cap A. This is the area vector. Another topic is plane angle and solid angle. So what is the plane angle? Suppose that in the case we have taken any kind of circle in which, suppose the arc of the circle subtends some angle to the center. Suppose this is the angle theta. Then this is called plane angle. That is the arc of length. Suppose that length of the arc is L, having radius R. Then this arc is subtending at some angle at the center O, and this angle is called plane angle. Here plane angle, since we know that angle is equal to arc upon radius, here arc will be written as L and radius is taken as R. So this is the plane angle, and unit of plane angle is radian. Now suppose we wish to define if 1 radian. Now what will be the 1 radian? If we write L is equal to R, then theta will becomes 1, that is 1 radian. तो 1 radian क्या हो गया? 1 radian is the angle formed by the plane at the center when the length of arc is just equal to the radius of the circle. That is called 1 radian. So this is the 1 radian, and this is plane angle. Now what is the solid angle? Solid angle means, suppose we have taken some kind of a sphere and we have chosen some particular area over the sphere. This particular area is represented by dA. The entire area of the sphere is A, and this particular area is considered as dA. Now suppose that this particular area subtend some angle to the center of the sphere. Now whatever area is subtended by the surface of the sphere is called solid angle. This is solid angle. So we can define solid angle as solid angle dA is proportional to square of radius r square. So we may write here dA is equal to a constant d omega into r square. Here the constant d omega is called solid angle. So d omega is equal to dA by r square. And here the solid angle d omega has unit steradian. So we can define here steradian as we have defined here radian. Suppose dA is equal to, this is steradian. Suppose dA is equal to r square, then d omega will call 1 steradian. Now the surface area, the solid angle may further define as, suppose we have taken some area dA from some point say O. The distance of this surface area or the radius vector will be outward as shown, and the surface area will make some particular angle theta. That means area vector will subtend some angle theta with this. So this is surface area. Now suppose we have taken some projection by considering the distance r. If we draw a sphere by taking the r as a radius, so we get the projection of the surface area dA. Now since the vector dA and r has angle theta, so the surface projection of dA will have the value dA cos theta. This projection has angle dA cos theta value, and this will make again some angle at the center O. Now this angle is called again solid angle d omega. Now when we take the projection of the area vector, so we define d omega again. D omega is equal to dA cos theta upon r square. This is the definition of solid angle. So here we understood about area vector. What is the area vector? The vector area that has magnitude as well as direction will consider as the area vector, and the plane angle and the solid angle. Now after it we will discuss about Gauss's theorem. Now we have to discuss what is the Gauss theorem. After understanding the concept of area vector and plane angle and solid angle, now we are able to define Gauss theorem. But before defining the Gauss theorem, one point is necessarily need to understand the concept of flux as well as concept of electric flux. So here we are going to define the flux or electric flux. After discussion of flux and electric flux, we will discuss the Gauss theorem. Now before going to Gauss theorem, we have to understand the flux of a vector field. We have to understand the flux of a vector field. Topic number 3. The flux of a vector field. तो flux क्या होता है? Basically we define flux as the tendency to penetrate the vector field. That means suppose that we have taken some stream flow of water. This is the flow of a stream of water. It is flowing with some velocity say v. Now we are going to place any kind of rectangular or square area in the direction of the flow of the liquid. This is the square loop which is placed in the midway of the flow of the liquid. Now we can see easily that some amount of flow of water stream will come after penetrating it or emerging out through it. तो some amount of water will flow toward it, and this is the area vector A. So what is the flux? Flux is the total number of field line that passes through the any kind of arbitrary area. किसी भी arbitrary area से जो वेक्टर फील्ड क्रॉस होता है, that is considered as the flux. तो यहाँ पे penetrating जो velocity vector है, it is completely multiplied by the area vector, and the rate of flow of stream will consider as the flux. So what is the flux that is flowing through the rectangle or the square will be given as phi. तो flux को phi से denote करते हैं. तो phi is given as the v into a. Now in vector term अगर इसको notate करें तो phi will be given by v dot a. This is the case when we have placed the square just perpendicular to the way of flow of liquid. इसको जब हमने क्या किया, वे ऑफ फ्लो ऑफ लिक्विड के जस्ट परपेंडिकुलर रखा, सीधे सीधे यहाँ पे रखा, तो वी आर लुकिंग एट द पिक्चर दैट मोस्ट ऑफ द लाइंस दैट इज इमर्जिंग आउट इज मैक्सिमम. So when the electric field line or the vector field is emerging out through any kind of surface area placed perpendicular, that then it will be the condition of maximum field that is coming out from the surface area. This is the vector field. Now suppose in the another case, if we place if we try to place it with some angle, with a projection. Now it is placed with some angle say theta. Then the number of field line that is passing through this particular area will be a cos theta. तो a cos theta से क्रॉस होने वाली फील्ड लाइन हो जाएंगी क्या आपकी phi बराबर va cos theta. In the another case, if we place this square area just parallel to the flow of vector or the flow of stream, so here we can see easily that after placing just parallel to the flow of field, we can get nothing, no parallel field line that is crossing through this particular area. In this case, phi will become va cos 90 and it will become 0. That means if we place parallel the square loop or the rectangular loop to the flow of liquid or the flow of the field line, then no line will pass through it, and in such a case the flux will be 0. Now as we know about the flux, जैसे हम flux को जान गए, we have considered the flux. Now we are going to understand the concept of electric flux. Now what is the electric flux? Electric flux is defined the number of electric field line that passes through any closed or open surface area, that will consider the electric flux. So same as if we consider the number of electric field lines that are crossing through any surface area A, will consider as the electric flux. Here electric vector A is also vector quantity, so electric flux is again written as phi E is equal to E A, or it may be written also as d phi E is equal to E dot dA. Again, now when the surface is placed with some angle say theta, then d phi E may also written as E dA cos theta. Now what is the condition of placing the hypothetical surface to the electric field will be determined by the theta. In case when theta is equal to 0, then d phi E will be given as EDA cos 0 and it will be EDA. And when theta is equal to 90 degree, d phi E is equal to EDA cos 90 and it will become cos 90, value of cos 90 is 0, so it will become 0. So here we have the different cases in which we are placing the surface in different axes with the plane or with the flow of the liquid, and we are getting the proper way to getting the electric flux. After it we are going to describe Gauss theorem. Now we are able to describe what is the Gauss theorem. Now next topic is Gauss's theorem. What the Gauss theorem states that the total electric flux passing through a closed surface is 1 by epsilon naught times the charge enclosed in it. So mathematically electric flux phi E is equal to, if the surface is closed, E dot dA is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Now we are going to describe it, or we are going to prove it. Suppose that we have taken any kind of arbitrary surface area where charge Q is enclosed and we wish to find out the electric field line क्या हो रही है, यहाँ से होकर के सीधे यहाँ से पास हो रही है. This is the positive charge. Now we have taken any surface area dA which subtends some angle at the point 2, say the solid angle d omega. Now area vector subtends some angle, say theta here. So what is the surface area? It is dA and the flux associated with it is d phi. So according to Gauss theorem, d phi E is equal to integral surface E dot dA. Now since E dot dA may written as EDA cos theta. Now what is the actual value of E? This point is placed at Q, and this point is plus Q, and at R distance point P, electric field intensity E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. Just we have to place the value of electric field intensity here. So we have here 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square and dA cos theta. It is also given by Q by 4 pi epsilon naught integral surface dA cos theta upon R square. Now what is the value of dA cos theta by R square? This is d omega, and the d omega is given as 4 pi. 4 pi will be cancelled out. So the flux phi E is actually Q upon epsilon naught times of the total charge enclosed in it. That means charge is placed inside of the surface. Now suppose when the charge is placed outside of the surface, if charge is placed somewhat here, then what is the electric flux associated with it? It will be 0. That is when charge is not enclosed by any kind of surface, the electric flux associated with it will be 0, because the charge and the field line and the area vector cuts it two parts at the conic section. Here first time flux will be calculated as minus q by 4 pi epsilon naught d omega, and the leaving flux will be given as phi is equal to plus q by 4 pi epsilon naught 0 d omega. So the net flux will be given by phi is equal to phi 1 plus phi 2, and it will become 0. So this is the Gauss theorem. Now next topic in this chapter is electric field due to point charge. इसमें हम लोग करेंगे डिडक्शन ऑफ कूलॉम्स लॉ. From Gauss theorem. For this, let us consider a point charge plus q is placed, and at r distance we have to calculate the electric field. This is point P. P पे हमको electric field पता करना है. तो taking r as a radius, we will draw a Gaussian surface. And choose a small, infinitely small area where the electric field line and the area vector is represented as shown, E and area vector D. Now what is the electric field at point P? We are going to find out it by using Gauss theorem. Now according to Gauss theorem, d phi E is equal to E dot dA or E dA cos theta. Integrating both sides, so phi E up. Now since it is a closed surface, E dA cos theta. Now the direction of E and dA are just parallel to each other, so the value of theta will become 0 degree. So phi E is equal to E dA. Now we have to calculate E, and we know now value of phi E is q by epsilon naught. So q by epsilon naught is equal to E surface dA. Now what is the value of surface area of closed? It is 4 pi r square. So this implies it is given as q by epsilon naught is equal to E into 4 pi r square. Now E की वैल्यू क्या हो जाएगी? The value of E will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. So this is the direction of electric field intensity at point P. Now suppose that a test charge particle q naught is also placed here. So the force experienced by the test charge particle due to the source charge F will be given as q naught E. Just we have to place the value of E from this equation here. So q naught so this is the formula of Coulomb's law. Now after knowing the Gauss theorem, we are going to use the application of Gauss theorem in the various cases of the closed surface conductor, where we have to apply the Gauss theorem, and we will try to find the expression of the electric flux or the electric field intensity. So first of all, we are going to find out the electric field intensity due to infinitely charged a wire. So here application of Gauss's theorem. अब एक एक करके इसकी एप्लीकेशन का हम लोग क्या करेंगे, डिस्कशन करेंगे। तो सबसे पहले इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड ड्यू टू इनफाइनाइटली लॉन्ग स्ट्रेट वायर। This is the first case. Now suppose that a wire that is charged positively and we wish to find the electric field intensity due to this charge wire at some point say P. Now taking the distance P as R and R is considered as a radius, we will construct a Gaussian surface taking R as a radius. So we are constructing a Gaussian cylinder of length L, and here we have to find the electric field intensity. So we will choose arbitrary small surface area dA. The direction of this area vector will normally outward, and the electric field line will also be in the same line of the area vector, that is E. Now what actually electric flux say? Electric flux phi E is given by A E dot dA is equal to A E dA cos theta. Now what is theta here? Theta is equal to 0. Why? Because dA and E in parallel direction. E dA. Now we know that phi is equal to Q by epsilon naught. So Q by epsilon naught is equal to E and surface integral of dA. Now what is the value of surface integral of dA? It is nothing but the area of cylinder 2 pi RL. So here Q by epsilon naught is equal to 2 pi RL into E. So electric field will comes as E is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught or Q by 2 pi epsilon naught into 1 by R, and L is also present. L. Now Q by L is the linear charge density because wire is considered as linear, it is lambda. So electric flux may be written as E is equal to, in terms of vector form, 1 upon 2 pi epsilon naught and Q by L, that is lambda into R cap. This is the expression for electric field intensity. This is the first application of Gauss theorem in which we calculate the electric field due to infinitely long straight wire. Now after discussion of first application, we can similarly find out the electric field intensity due to infinitely long straight wire की जगह हम लोग क्या कर लेंगे, प्लेन शीट के लिए भी निकाल सकते हैं। यहाँ पे लॉन्ग स्ट्रेट वायर की जगह हम लोग क्या कर लेते हैं, प्लेन शीट कर लेते हैं। Now suppose that we have taken a sheet having uniform surface charge distribution and charged uniformly. इसको चार्ज किया हमने। Now we used to find out the electric field intensity due to this infinitely plane sheet, charge plane sheet at point P. P पे निकालना है. By symmetrically, we can also find out the electric field intensity at the other end, that is P dash. Now suppose that this is the distance R, equal distance, electric field will be equal. Now we will construct a Gaussian cylinder here to both sides symmetrically at the same distance R. Here electric field direction and the area vector will again parallel to each other to both sides. So what will be the flux in this case? Phi E will be EdA cos theta for this sheet will be added up together. So we can write it here. Here theta is equal to 0. So it will become EdA cos 0, that is 1. Now what is the value of phi E? It is Q by epsilon naught by Gauss theorem. हमको इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी पता करना है. So let the surface area is A. So integration of dA, this implies Q by epsilon naught is equal to E, and it will become Q by epsilon naught. यहाँ पे हमारा 2 था, 2EA. So electric field for the plane sheet will be given by E is equal to Q upon 2 epsilon naught A. Now Q by A is the surface charge density sigma. So we can write here sigma E is equal to sigma upon 2 epsilon naught. This is the expression for electric field intensity due to infinitely charged plate sheet. This is the second application. Now after it, the third application we are going to discuss. Due to charged thin spherical shell. कोई हमारा एक स्फेरिकल शेल है जिसकी रेडियस r है और इसको चार्ज दिया जाता है, तो ऑल द चार्जेस डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड यूनिफॉर्मली ओवर द सरफेस ऑफ द शेल. We have to apply the Gauss theorem for the charged thin spherical shell. Now suppose that we wish to find out the electric field intensity due to charged thin spherical shell somewhere say P. By taking this distance r as the radius of the spherical shell, we will construct a Gaussian spherical surface. And at point P we have to choose a small area dA where surface area dA where electric field intensity is to be determined. Now here in the same previous cases dA and electric field direction will be same. So what is the electric flux through it? Phi E will given as E dot dA is equal to E dA cos theta. Again theta is equal to 0 here. E dA phi is equal to, now phi is equal to q by epsilon naught, and E dA. What is the surface integral of dA? This is the closed surface. We can choose here closed surface sign. So the value of dA is nothing but 4 pi small r square. So electric field intensity at outside at point P at a distance r will be given by, this is the electric field intensity for outside of the shell. ये shell है, shell के बाहर r distance पे point P पे निकालना. Now suppose we wish to find out the electric field intensity at the surface. Surface पे निकालना है. Surface पे r is equal to capital R रख देंगे. तो it will become E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. Now at center अगर निकालना है, this is the second case. At center पे क्या हो जाएगा? Since no charge is present at the center, charge q बराबर 0, तो electric field intensity will also become 0 at the center. So this is the variation of electric field intensity outside at the surface and inside the shell. Now if we wish to represent it graphically, what is the variation showing by the thin cell? इसका variation हम कैसे दिखा सकते हैं? इसका variation दिखाने के लिए ये हमने thin shell होता है. This is the center. This is the radius r. So the variation of electric field with distance, center पे electric field क्या हो गया? 0 हो गया r distance पे, and at r distance is it varies as 1 by r square. So sometime the graphical question comes in which we have to show the variation of electric field along with the distance. So these are the topics that I taught today to all of you. Is completely describe what is the Gauss theorem. So this is very important topic in the case of examination, for the examination point of view, as well as it is very important topic in the electrostatics. So completely I have described the Gauss theorem और आपको इसको पूरा तैयार करना है. आगे इसके बाद फिर मैं आपको इससे रिलेटेड कुछ न्यूमेरिकल भी कल बताता हूँ आपको. ओके, थैंक यू.